Hey everyone, it's Jasmine, copywriter and certified content marketing strategist, and today I'm going to talk to you about how to improve your writing skills, so stay tuned. Hi, I'm Jasmine, copywriter and certified content marketing strategist, helping you get set up for success online through the power of copywriting and content marketing strategies. Let's get to it. Hey everyone, so I'm going to talk to you today about how to improve your writing skills. And this applies to anyone who is interested in writing, whether you're writing for academic purposes, you're writing a play, a book, or maybe you're even copywriting for business. This is going to help you improve your writing no matter what type of content writing you're doing. So let's just jump right on in. And so the first tip that I want to share with you is to help you just put things into perspective. I don't want you to compare your first draft with someone else's finished product. And maybe that's why you feel like you aren't really good at writing, because maybe you just wrote something, you completed it, you put it out there, but then you read other people's stuff and their stuff sounds so amazing and it's, is judged up and is, has all this pizzazz and all this personality and is spunky and all these things. Like, don't compare your rough draft, your first draft, to someone else's finished, polished up work, because they probably had an editor to clean it up for them. And meanwhile, you probably just wrote it one time, finished it, and put it out there. You have to put things into perspective and realize that it's an ugly rough draft. And because it is a first draft, because it's an ugly rough draft, you have to look at it like that and realize that it needs to be cleaned up. Right? So whenever you complete your thoughts, you finished it, as far as like you got your thoughts out there, it's complete. Think about it as a rough draft and treat it like a rough draft, because rough drafts need more attention, right? And so just think about it like that. That's the first and foremost thing I want to share with you, is just to think about your work as a rough draft, right? And the second tip that I want to share with you is to read out loud. If you want to learn how to improve your writing skills, start reading your work out loud. And when you read it out loud, you're going to be able to catch some things that maybe you weren't able to catch when you just was reading it silently. When you read out loud, you're going to hear where commas need to be. You're going to hear maybe some words you need to change up or how you need to revise. And also, when you read it out loud in front of other people, they're going to tell you what doesn't make sense and what does make sense. And maybe you can understand if there needs to be any organizational changes to how the content is flowing. You're going to hear all that whenever you read out loud. You're going to hear how you can edit it. So that's my second tip for you, right? And the third tip I want you to be mindful of is, like I said, consider the completed work as a first draft, as an ugly rough draft. And so the third tip for you is to come back to it a few days later. So whenever you finish your work and you read it out loud, set it down for a couple days, a couple hours, take a break from it, and then come back to it refreshed, with fresh eyes, with new eyes, so you can catch even more things that you weren't able to catch before. So that's my third tip for you, is to set your stuff aside for a few hours, a few days, and come back to it and edit it with fresh eyes and a fresh perspective. And so you can polish it up a little bit more, right? So you thought about it as a rough draft, you read it out loud, you came back to it after you set it aside for some time. And my fourth tip for you is to cut. And whenever you cut and delete, you find that it just becomes more concise. It becomes more, your writing becomes sharper and it's punchy, and it becomes even more riveting. You just get to the point, right? And so that's what you want your work to do. You want your work to be sharp, punchy, concise, gets to the point, and cutting and deleting will help you do just that, right? And the fifth tip that I want to share with you is to read backwards. Whenever you're editing your work, whenever you're editing your ugly rough draft, practice reading the word backwards, and you'll be able to catch the words that are misspelled, you'll be able to catch different things that you weren't able to catch before whenever you read backwards. So that is what tip are we on? Tip 5. That's my 5th tip for you we talked about recognizing that this is a rough draft. We talked about reading it out loud. We talked about cutting it. We talked about setting it aside and coming back to it. We talked about cutting it. And my final tip for you, whenever you want to learn how to improve your writing skills, is to go back in and look at the words that are more repetitious, the words that you are frequently using, just go back in and read through and click on the words, or like right click and switch out some of those words with a similar word, with synonyms, use a thesaurus to replace some words with words so that they can be more precise. So that's what you want. You want the language to be precise. And also you want to replace words that are too overdone in your text. And this is different from SEO. I don't want to talk about SEO. Of course, in SEO, you want to use words more than one time. But just regular writing, like if you're using always a lot, or if you're using absolutely, or if you're using just if you're in a habit of using specific words maybe 10 times in 5 sentences, then switch out some of those words with a synonym or a better sounding word so that you can be precise in your language, right? You want to be concise and you want to be precise. So that'll help you freshen up your writing to improve your writing skills as well, right? So hopefully you found these tips to be super helpful for you. Let me know down below if I share something that you found to be valuable to you in your writing journey. And I appreciate hearing from you guys, hearing where you are in your writing journey, and also hearing feedback if you find my videos to be helpful for you. So thank you so much for your time. Leave a comment down below, and I look forward to seeing you next time. So go out and make some magic. Peace and blessings to you. Bye.